Good evening, Yorktown. This is Supervisor Matt Slater coming to you from Yorktown Town Hall. It is March 24th. Traditionally, we'd be here for a town board meeting since it's a Tuesday, but because of the COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus pandemic, we remain in a state of emergency, and there are no town board meetings for the month of March. I'm joined by Sergio Esposito of the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce. I'm also joined by Chief Robert Noble of the Yorktown Police Department, and also here monitoring our Facebook page is Councilman Ed Lachterman, and I appreciate everyone being here tonight. So we did receive more information today. As I've stated before, I am fully committed to providing valid and accurate information to the public when we get it. Yesterday, we reported a number of infected individuals in our community at 20. That number grew once again today, putting us in the top 10 now in the county. We now have 30 individuals in the town of Yorktown who have been tested positive for COVID-19. I will state again, there is a lag time. I expect the true number, this is not real time, I expect the true number to still be significantly higher, which is again why there are restrictions in place, not just here in Yorktown, but across the state. New York State is the epicenter for COVID-19. We have more than 25,000 cases in the state of New York right now. And right here in our four walls of Yorktown, which is where my focus is, because there are a lot of decisions being made that have regional, statewide, and national implications. I focus right here on the four walls of Yorktown. Here in Yorktown, we have 30 individuals who have tested positive for COVID-19. I do have some additional announcements to share. I want to really emphasize the importance to our community of the Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps, or YVAC. I was on the phone. We speak every day. We have a conference call with all of our first responders, from YVAC to the Mohegan Fire, with Captain Tom Eade, with, of course, Chief Noble, and we have members of the Yorktown Volunteer Fire Department, Captain Swart. And right now, people are asking for a way to help. I'm asking for your help in supporting YVAC, Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Captain Davin, who was on the call, informed me today they are down to 8 gowns. 8 gowns, because they are responding to so many calls within our community. They need our help. And if you could go visit yvac.net, yvac.net, that is their website, they will take monetary donations sent to YVAC to purchase additional equipment. I want to give a special thank you to the Yorktown Lions Club. Councilman Ed Lachterman, again, who is here, has been assisting us in engaging our civic organizations, and the Yorktown Lions Club has anteed up $1,000 to help purchase supplies for our first responders. And I know that Councilman Lachterman is leading the charge on that, and Jimmy Poulin, who is the president of the Lions, and we always know the Lions are there for us when we need them the most. But there is a way to help. Again, you can go to yvac.net, or for those who haven't seen the video from over the weekend, there is a drop box located in the courtyard of the police station and the courthouse. You can drop off any PPE, personal protective equipment. Did I get that right, Chief?
Absolutely.
Personal protective equipment, masks, gowns, gloves. You can drop it off right into that secure drop box. It's monitored 24/7 to make sure that whatever is dropped off is secure and distributed to our first responders and frontliners. But again, I'm asking for the community's help with our incredible volunteers. YVAC is 100% volunteer. Same with the Yorktown Volunteer Fire Department. They are 100%. When you call for an emergency, they are not getting paid to show up. They are your neighbors. They are your friends. They are your family. And right now, because of the increased number of calls we are seeing in the community, their supplies are diminishing. And so I'm asking for your help. Visit yvac.net and provide some support for that great organization. Again, we have our senior shopping times posted online. For those who don't know, most, if I believe all actually, of our grocery stores and BJ's are providing specific times for senior shopping center. Visit yorktownny.org, and you can find the times listed on the website for the COVID-19 updates. I'm very excited also to announce a new partnership with Ride Connect. Ride Connect is a volunteer organization that provides rides, mostly for our seniors, to a number of different appointments they may have, social gatherings. They do a fantastic job for our community. Ride Connect is willing to help our seniors, and they're willing to help them with their groceries. They're going to do this one of two ways. The first way, if someone's able to pre-order their groceries and you coordinate with, again, Ride Connect, they will go pick up your groceries and bring them right to your house, and they'll leave them right out your front door, which is great. Otherwise, the other thing that they're willing to do is take your grocery list and they'll work with you on a payment plan or a payment scheme, and they will actually go do your grocery shopping for you, so you don't have to go to the grocery store. These are all volunteers that are doing this, and so the number for Ride Connect for our seniors only, is 914-242-7433. That's 914-242-7433. Again, this is a call for our seniors. We do have senior shopping times established in all of our grocery stores, but if you still are hesitant to go outside, and I completely understand why, that's why we have Matilda's Law put into place by Governor Cuomo. But if you are hesitant to go outside or unable to go outside, I urge you to call Ride Connect and coordinate with them, and they will help deliver groceries right to your front door. And we appreciate the dozens of volunteers who've already raised their hand to help in this endeavor. I spoke earlier today with some of the executives over at the Hudson Valley Hospital Center of New York Presbyterian. That's our local hospital here in Yorktown. They have a tent system that has been established and procured by the National Guard. So that is happening. That's over in their courtyard. Patients are not allowed visitors at this time. Period. End of conversation. And I know that's very troubling and worrisome for some of our individuals who are in the hospital, but for everyone's safety. This is not just for Hudson Valley, it's for the entire New York Presbyterian network. There are no visitors allowed in their hospitals. And I received quite a few comments and questions about this from some of my friends and neighbors. This does include women giving birth. And they are not allowing anyone to enter the hospital other than the woman giving birth. So no spouse, no support individual will be allowed into the hospital. And Mount Sinai is now following that policy as well. So I did confirm that with Hudson Valley, New York Presbyterian Hudson Valley today. Also, all of the NYP, the New York Pres employees, are issued masks. They are going to be wearing masks as long as they're on their shifts throughout the hospital. Tax bills, we've received a number of questions about tax bills. We still have not received authorization from the state to extend either our deadline or waive penalty fees. So the tax bills are being stuffed. They were all stuffed by our staff today and yesterday, and we plan on mailing those out on Friday. Should anything change in regards to a deadline or waiving late fees, we will absolutely provide that information to you as soon as we have it. As of now, and we've gotten a few calls, more than a few calls about this, especially our tax receiver. Please understand the town of Yorktown does not have the authority under the law to either A, extend our deadline, or B, provide a waiver for late fees. We do not have that authority. That comes directly from the state government, and we are hoping and we continue to press the governor to provide that relief for our taxpayers. But until that time, we are moving forward as scheduled, and those tax bills will be mailed out this Friday. We still have received questions about landscaping. I have not been giving a clear answer by the county or by the state. I know I've seen some things posted on social media, but again, I am here to provide accurate and verified information. I have not had a verified answer provided to me about what can and cannot be done in regards to landscaping companies at this point in time. And before I go into my last piece, I should have mentioned this earlier. The updated numbers as released by Governor Cuomo as of this morning, Westchester County is now at 3,891 confirmed cases, and we had 997 confirmed yesterday alone. So as a recap, the town of Yorktown is now in the top 10, is now number 10, top 10 municipalities in regards to positive COVID-19 cases. We have 30 that we have been confirmed. That information has been sent to us by the Westchester County Department of Health, as well as the state of New York. But again, I still believe firmly that that data is not real time. And so I expect that number to be significantly higher, which brings me to my next point, and that's social responsibility. I know the sun's out today. I know that there's blue skies. But please, please, I don't know what more I can say. I know people want to go outside, and there are safe ways to do it. FDR Park is open. Our passive parks are open. And you can go to YorktownTrailtown.com. We have 40 miles of nature trails. Go crazy. Enjoy them. That's what they're there for. But our playgrounds are closed. The Yorktown, the track at the Veterans Field, right in the middle of the Heights, the track is closed. I don't know how much more clear I can be about this. The track is closed. The school playgrounds are closed. There are signs up. I drive past Brookside 4 or 5 times a day because it's on my way home. They have a nice big sign. Playground is closed. Our active parks are closed in the town of Yorktown. I can't speak towards New York City because I'm not the mayor of the city. I worry about the 4 walls of Yorktown. Our active parks are closed. Westchester County's playgrounds are now closed. That's the significance of the situation here. And the longer we either don't comply or the longer we just don't listen, the longer we're going to see the current situation at hand and the more restrictions that are going to have to be handed down by regional and state lawmakers. If you want to answer, we actually have the phone ringing. If you want to answer that phone, Sergio, you can. It's probably someone asking a question. But I know that, again, I know that people have a routine. We've talked about this, right, Chief? People have a routine. I get it. The track might be your routine. But there are other places in the Heights vicinity you can go walk. You can go walk the Heights. There's sidewalks there. You can just walk you take 4 right turns. And it's the same thing as the track. So please, social responsibility, because you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting others at risk. And that risk is severe. That risk could be death. That's what we're trying to guard against. And so it's really on you. It's on you individually to do the right thing, not just for yourself, but for your neighbors, for your friends, and for your family.
Would you like to take a question?
Yeah, if you get the question from them, I'll answer it.
Okay. I'll go have the supervisor answer the question. Are you watching, or he's on TV right now? Okay, I'll ask him the question. What was your name? Okay, thank you, Betty. So that was Betty.
Mm-hmm.
And Betty asked that she was just watching Channel 2 News.
Mm-hmm.
And Channel 2 News reported that someone can make a mask out of fabric and attach elastic bands to it. And she wanted to know if that was something that she should do and if that was safe, if that would be enough protection.
So, Chief, if you want to jump in here at any point in time, feel free. My thought is, quite frankly, she can absolutely do that. There are a lot of different ideas that are being put out there. Fabric masks are one of them. We're also, and I've spoke to several people about using our 3D printers to actually produce masks. I had a conversation today with a New York Presbyterian about it. because they are actually in the process of exploring that option. Chief, do you have any thoughts on this?
I would just, I'd want to be certain that I was healthy when I was making those masks, and the materials,
Of course.
that they haven't been compromised. And I guess I would pattern in after surgical masks, to try to keep it as simple and as crude as possible. Sometimes crude and effective can work. Again, I would defer to possibly somebody from Empress or one of our ambulance corps to answer that question better than I. But you know what? The initiative is always welcome. And you know what? Sometimes great ideas are born out of simple things like that.
Absolutely.
So, again, I'm not, I don't think I'm the best person to go about suggesting how to create those, but I guess I would pattern it after a surgical mask, a crude type of surgical mask.
Yeah, but I think bottom line for Betty is the short answer. If it's for, I think it was for her personal use. She wasn't producing them for others.
That's the way I understood the question.
So if it's
but
for
it
your
wasn't clear.
Betty, if it's for your personal use, I think it would be fine to do that. If it's for
Sure.
your personal use and it makes you
More comfortable. Sure.
right, that's what I was going to say,
Yep.
more comfortable, then absolutely. I don't think that's a bad idea. If it's for other people, to the chief's point, please make sure that the material has not been compromised, that you are healthy, and so this way we're not spreading any potential the virus to potentially other people. But for your personal use, by all means, yes.
I think something is better than nothing, right?
Yes, for those. And before I forget, I did bring this for those who are home and adhering to New York on pause. Be on the lookout. Tommy, I don't know if you can get this. Yeah, well, that's true. Here we go. That's true. But this is the census. You should be getting these in the mail. It provides you with your census ID number. It provides you with a website to go to. And if you need help, there's a toll-free phone number that you can call. Again, I know it's not necessarily on the forefront of everyone's minds, but it is a very important function and civic duty for our residents to partake in. So again, be on the lookout for the census. You will be getting this notification. It's a blue and white notification in the mail. Provides you with your census ID number, the website, and for those who may not have a computer or wish to do it on a computer, it also provides you with a toll-free number for you to call. There are 9 questions to the census. The Bureau, the Census Bureau, will never call you. And that's something I know that the chief wants to talk about, is some of these scams that to be on the lookout for. But if someone calls you and they say, we're from the United States Census Bureau and we're here to talk to you about the census, hang up. Hang up. No one will ever call you from the Bureau, the Census Bureau, to have you take the census. Okay? With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to the chief to provide some additional information on some scams and some other issues that I know you wanted to bring forward.
Thank you, Supervisor. And yes, we'll jump right into the scams. And there are sadly some coronavirus COVID-19 scams that have been prevalent in the area. If anyone calls you looking to obtain your Social Security number or cash, gift cards,
Right.
any information, and promises you a COVID or a coronavirus test or testing kits, they're lying. I mean, it's a scam. No one is calling your residents from the CDC or just about any federal agency with opportunity and people praying. They only have to be successful just a few times. So I would again be on guard. We recommend to everybody, let all calls go to voicemail anyway. You know what? Even if you know the number, phone numbers are spoofed these days. So we recommend to everybody, let phone calls go to voicemail and call the people back. If you ever have any questions, you can always call us at the Yorktown Police Department. Non-emergency line is 962-4141. We are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and the emergency line is 911. Thankfully, we have not seen an uptick in crime in the community, which is a good thing. Obviously, a lot of people are home, so the opportunity for residential burglaries would seem to decrease. If you are home, keep an eye out for your neighbors. However, a lot of businesses are closed these days. So I would implore commercial business owners, and Sergio, you could recommend to your membership that make sure your alarms are working and are active, and take those precautions to take valuables out of your stores to make it less of a target, and also protect yourself against the impact of any type of loss. That being said, we are maintaining a high visibility within the community. I don't think you can go anywhere without seeing a Yorktown police car, either in a business district or in neighborhoods. Sadly, we had to put an officer out for a few hours at the park that you had mentioned to deter people from walking. It's a waste of our resources, unfortunately. But and again, the emphasis is not on enforcement. It's about deterrence and trying to build cooperation through requests.
Right.
And that's how this works. And even in police work, we're not big on giving orders until we have to. We always love cooperation, and that's the way this should work. So,
Chief, someone asked on Facebook here if they see someone in a park, if they should call the non-essential line.
They
what would
can.
you like to tell the residents?
Yeah, they certainly can. And if we have somebody available in the area, we'll check it out, and we'll ask the people that are in the parks to leave.
And that non-emergency number is 962-4141, correct?
Yes, it is. Yes.
962-4141 is the non-emergency number for the police department.
All right. And I would also remind people, the weather is getting nice, as we said. This is usually when we'll see an uptick in crimes of opportunity, which is unlocked vehicles or even vehicles that are locked but with valuables in plain sight. Remind everybody to please don't leave valuables in your car. Lock your car. This typically, like I said, we see a spike in this when the weather gets warmer. We do have a visible deterrent out there. The officers are patrolling actively. But please, let's eliminate the opportunity and protect yourselves. That's the best defense. I'd like to again thank the community for their support. Some people are dropping off a great whether it's hand sanitizers. Chris Bouget, I'll give you a shout out. I don't know if you're out there. He dropped off 300 hand sanitizers, which is it's going to go a long way. I can outfit every one of my each one of my personnel with one or two of them. They're small to go, can fit on their belt. It's awesome. And like I said, we're getting gloves and some surgical masks and a limited amount of N95 masks.
N95s, and are the ones that are really important for your staff.
Yes, they are.
As well as for other frontliners and first responders. But I know that we had a couple of individuals drop some off over in the drop box.
Right. Yep. So that drop box is out there, and again, unfortunately our headquarters is locked. We're trying to limit our contact with the public so that we can protect the public. And I'm proud to say that my police department, I haven't had one person calling sick. And that's knock on wood, but I say that only because the men and women of this agency are showing up and they're doing a fantastic job protecting and serving this community. And that's not only my sworn staff, that's my civilian staff. That's my cleaning crew, my dispatchers, my office assistants. They're doing a tremendous job answering the call. And just selfless service, and I can't speak highly enough. And I would also ask that you keep not only us in mind, but as you said, the volunteers from the ambulance corps, YVAC, MVAC, volunteer fire departments, Mohegan, Yorktown, and the paid guys, Mohegan professional firefighters. If you call us looking for help and you really, please let us know that you have a fever, have respiratory issues. Give us a chance to protect ourselves so that we can not only help you, but help the next person and the person beyond that. So again, it's been happening by and large, but and we have the screening questions that we've been asking, but there's always something that seems to fall through the cracks. And so please keep that in mind for your first responders. Let us know.
And when you say it falls through the crack, though, it It puts our responders at risk. But
Yes.
to your point, it's also the next call that they go on and the call after that.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And that's where when people are asking, how come it's spreading? How come it's spreading? Because in this case, in the line of work that you and your department are doing and all of our volunteers are doing, they could inadvertently be one of the catalysts in spreading it because they have
Absolutely.
not been given the proper information.
Yeah, I mean, people, it's easy to, it has to be easy to understand how this is transmitted. I mean, I don't touch a doorknob now without a paper towel or some layer, you know,
Right.
because these little droplets, germs, they live on those objects and can be easily absorbed. You put your hand to your face,
Yep.
and now you could have, you know, you could have infected yourself. So
Right.
again, it's an unseen enemy, like we've said, and there's a tremendous amount of precautions. I think slowly but surely people are getting it and understanding. And you know, to your point, Supervisor, I think we've got the buy-in on from a lot more people than we do the people who are just irresponsible and
Agreed.
not listening. So
Agreed.
I think this community has really rallied around what you've been trying to do. These proactive evenings, getting messages out to the public. And I think, like I said, Yorktown, you know what, in my experience in this town, and I'm proud to be in law enforcement here for 26 years, Yorktown has always bought in, like I say, you know, the longtime residents here, tried and true, they've been battle tested. You know, the people that are coming up from the city and down county, they're slowly but surely, they're getting it, you know, and, you know, that's no offense on anybody. But like I said, we're better. I mean, and no knock on anybody else that's out there, but we're better at dealing with things like this because, you know what, like you said, we lead from the front and we have these conversations and you hear it from different people like me tonight. But again, we got to stay positive, stay smart, stay calm. You know what, we're going to come out of this. In America, we seem to come out of this better than what we have to deal with. That's our you know, that's our history, man. Our history is built on that. So, again, I'm going to push it back to you.
One last thing. Coffee with a cop. Are we going to bring that back when we get through all this? Not to put you on the spot.
Well, of course. Listen, I'm going to ask you if we could do beer with a cop. I mean, because I'm going to need one at the end of the day.
You and me both.
But you know,
you and me both.
but again,
Sign
you know,
me up.
you know, the first, like I said, you know, and like I said, you have to have the support.
Yep.
And we know we have that from you and the board. But again, the first responders in this town, from my cops to the volleys to everybody going out there, you cannot ask for more living in this town.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we appreciate it. And we owe your department an enormous debt of gratitude. We owe all of our first responders an enormous debt of gratitude. All of our frontliners, all the nurses, all the doctors,
Yeah, absolutely.
folks who are retired who are now coming out. They're Michael Jordan. They're coming out of retirement because they're going right back into the hospitals to take care of more patients.
doctors and nurses, amazing. Just
I know. I mean, it's just, you know, these are the things and these are the people that we really need to, I think, raise up, support, and stand behind because they are doing just amazing, amazing work. And when you have an emergency at your house, I'm not the one barreling through the door. It's these guys. It's our firefighters. It's YVAC. It's MVAC. I mean, these are the guys. These are the people. And I don't say just guys because there's men and women involved. But these are the individuals who are sacrificing themselves for all of us. The very least we can do is to be socially responsible and make sure that if we do have to call them, we're not, in a sense, ambushing them with an invisible predator of COVID-19. Sergio, from the business community, we have some news, I hope.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you, Chief. Councilman Lackerman, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here again tonight. Chief, I will say that I've gotten a lot of calls from our membership with compliments about the police presence and the stepped up, visibility.
good.
And it's much appreciated. I wanted to go over some events of the past few days regarding the Stimulus Relief Act. In Washington, the Senate has been unable to reach an agreement, and the relief bill has stalled. Thankfully, as of a little while ago, we have seemed to have turned the corner, and the rhetoric in Washington seems to be more of a compromising tone. There has been a 50% drop in GDP for the second quarter in the United States, and there's a backlog on unemployment. There are over 30 million small businesses in America employing 58.9 million people, making up almost 48% of the U.S. workforce. Small businesses need help. So do citizens. And the relief package is urgent. Today, luckily, Senator Schumer has agreed to vote to pass a bill by the end of today, sometime this evening, in bipartisan fashion with Senator McConnell. From what I understand, they have worked through a lot of the sticking points, and I think they're really, really close. The president has begun to consider turning the economy back on with the primary focus on the health of the American people. And interestingly enough, Governor Cuomo has stated that it may be time for a more refined policy regarding the pause order and our economy. I'm doubling down on my optimism. Things are changing, things are moving forward, and there is light, so we just still need to stick together. As such, I do have some details regarding the Bipartisan Relief Act. Again, these statistics for the bill have been changing, but as of about, I would say, an hour ago, this is where we're at. The act is now north of $2 trillion, up from $1.2 trillion. The act will contain 2 rounds of direct payments to most Americans in the amount of $1,200 per person and an additional $500 per child. It's going to bolster an overexhausted unemployment system. It will provide $150 billion to U.S. hospitals, $500 billion in loans and loan guarantees, $425 billion to small businesses, cities, and states, with $367 billion of that to shore up small businesses. $50 billion to passenger airlines, $8 billion to cargo airlines, $17 billion to businesses that are important to our national security, and an additional $600 a week for unemployment on top of your current unemployment payment. And this will be, the unemployment part will be will last 4 months. Currently, a vote is set this evening by the Senate, and then it will move to the House of Representatives, where the rumor is that they will be holding a unanimous consent vote. And that is done by asking if everyone is in favor from the House of the bill, and if no one responds in a negative, it'll move to the president's desk. The idea here is to flood the economy with capital. The idea here is if we flood the economy with capital, people will be more apt to pay their bills. And as steep as the decline was when this all started, and it was a necessary act to enact the pause order for the sake of the public, that's how steep the increase in the economy is going to be once we get through this. So be optimistic. I know that everyone's April rents and mortgage payments are coming up. Hang in there. I'm confident that the stimulus package will pass and flood our economy with desperately needed capital. I will have final details once this bill is signed into law, as well as the process. A lot of people have been calling me up. What do I do if this happens? How do I apply? My understanding currently is that the private sector is going to step in, and you will be able to apply for a loan through your current bank or relationship with whatever financial institution you have. This is to prevent something that's going on with the unemployment system. They're just flooded. They're overburdened, and they can't handle the volume because this is unprecedented. So I think by doing it in this fashion and using the private sector to step in and assist, we'll all be able to get our hands on that needed capital sooner than later. Locally, the onset of the capital has prompted the supervisor, who's very proactive, the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce to formulate an economic task force, which will include the Yorktown Small Business Association. It's all hands on deck. We're going to see if there's anyone else we could bring in to assist, and the idea is to formulate some kind of a recovery plan ahead of time. So this way, when things start to rebound, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Supervisor, we will be ready to enact some initiatives that will help us get back on our feet, get the small businesses humming again, get people moving again, and get Yorktown back to being great again. So we will be meeting tomorrow to begin our economic recovery plan for Yorktown's Main Street. If anybody has any questions, you could email us at info@yorktownchamber.org. You can call us at 914-245-4599. You could catch us at www.yorktownchamber.org. And you could like in our Facebook page, Yorktown Chamber of Commerce, or my page, Sergio Esposito. Hang in there. Help is coming. I think we're real close. And hopefully tomorrow, I'll have a big smile saying that this stimulus package is passed. Thank you very much. Mr. Supervisor?
Thank you, Sergio.
Just a question. Do you know if there's, and I thought I saw something about it, there's something for, what about self-employed people?
Self-employed individuals, any information for them?
So right now, there is a part of the bill that I saw, but I wasn't going to report on it because I wasn't absolutely certain that it's going to be, but it will be part of the bill. But it is going to be for self-employed or people that normally do not qualify for unemployment. There is something being tossed around in there. It's not verified. It's not accurate. But I can tell you that I am keeping an eye on it. You know, we're the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce. We're here for our members. We're here for the community. We're here for everyone here. There's no boundaries, no borders for the Yorktown Chamber. So, and we're here for, of course, the supervisor in the town of Yorktown and whatever they need from us. So I am monitoring that as well. Hopefully this bill passes this evening. The evening usually for me means 6 or 7 o'clock. But for Washington, it usually means like 12 or 1 a.m. So I will be watching that. I did go live this morning. I posted a list of all the phone numbers to all the senators, and I asked every citizen in Yorktown to be an advocate for Main Street and to call every senator and just ask them to please come to the table and compromise. So you could still do that. It's on my Facebook page. It's on the Yorktown Chambers page. There is a list. Call them. Leave them a message. Tell them, hey, we need this. Please. Thank you. Anything else?
Serge, I really want to thank you, and I want to thank Bob Giordano from the Small Business Association for your superb leadership. I'm very excited about the task force that we're going to be formulating. It'll be our first conference call tomorrow morning. I think it's the Main Street Task Force, or we'll come up with some snazzy name for it, right? But the idea, again, is to make sure that we're ready, because once the fog is lifted and it's back to business as normal, because we are going to get to that point, we need to be ready. This town needs to be ready. I have to tell you, I'm still getting calls. I'm still having phone meetings with folks who want to do business in town, which I find I'm just blown away by. Even with everything going on, they still want to come, and they got great projects that they want to push forward, and they're not shying away from the town. And I think that just speaks volumes about our attitude and our willingness to work, and the promise of the community. So hopefully, working together, I think that we're going to come up with some really good ideas about what we can do within our four walls. Again, we're not here on a regional level or a statewide level. We're just focused on the four walls of Yorktown and the Main Street businesses of Yorktown, and how we can make sure that we support each other and support our small businesses in the town. A couple of just a few more things. Parks and Recreation. We've had questions about registration. General program registration began today, March 24th. You may mail or drop off. There's a lockbox out in front of the rec office over by Sparkle Lake. You may mail or drop off your registration forms with check payment only. Program start dates may be affected, so please check your provided email daily. With start potential alteration of dates and possible cancellation of programs, the Parks and Rec Department will not be cashing checks until the end of April. Please be aware of this for your own personal bookkeeping. All spring programming start dates have been delayed. There will be no spring programming that will begin earlier than April 13th. Ending dates and program rates are subject to change on a case-by-case basis. All registrants will be emailed with updates regarding any adjustment to the programs they signed up for. Travel camp lottery forms are still being accepted until Friday, this Friday, March 26th. Registration will be open, I think it's the 27th actually. Registration will be this Friday anyway. Registration will be open to lottery winners until April 10th. If you missed this deadline and are interested in travel camp, please call the rec office at 914-245-4650 to inquire about available spots in travel camp. Camp registration also began today, March 24th, and will remain open until May 22nd. We will be waiving the May 11th late fee. So again, camp registration did open today and will be open to May 22nd. The late fee will be waived. Pool signups will begin on May 4th as scheduled in the Rec ID office. Mail or drop off your registration forms with a check payment only to 176 Granite Springs Road, again over by Sparkle Lake. Both the Recreation Office and Town Hall have drop boxes outside the front door of each individual building available to the public at all times. If you have concerns regarding registration, please email ypr@yorktownny.org, and we will work with you as best we can. As always, please view the brochure for program details and registration forms at yorktownny.org/parks and recreation. And I want to thank all of our workers for their continued efforts. Just like the chief had said, it's just so refreshing and motivating for our staff to see our staff and work with our staff. Because like I said yesterday, we are working at a 50% reduction here at Town Hall and in our other departments. We're focused on keeping your water on. We're focused on making sure our sewers are working. We're making sure that the parks that are open and accessible and clean and safe. But we still have employees who, again, we're on 50% reduction, so it's a flex schedule. So they may not be scheduled to work. They're still showing up to volunteer in some way. And Councilman Lachterman today was helping our Meals on Wheels program out of the Senior Nutrition Center. We're well over 100 seniors now that we're feeding. And we had employees who are not supposed to work this week or this day show up to deliver meals because they wanted to provide more service to the community. Those are the workers that we have. They're absolutely fantastic. And I just can't speak enough about how well they have performed under the current situation. So again, for everyone at home still watching, the new number for the town of Yorktown, the bottom number, this is the minimum as far as I'm concerned. We have 30 confirmed cases in the town of Yorktown. Again, that's not real time. I believe that's anywhere from 72 hours, call it 72 hours old at this point. So the bottom number is 30. That is 10 more than we had just yesterday. So as the tests continue to come in, the results continue to come in, we continue to get notified of more and more positive cases. Again, we are now in the top 10 in the county of positive COVID-19 cases, which is all the more reason to make smart decisions as we continue through New York on pause. Please continue to practice social distancing. Only leave your house if you have to. That is the bottom line. We are trying our best to get through this together. We will get through this together, but it takes a team effort. And with that being said, as always, we will continue to provide any verified and accurate information. You can call Town Hall at 914-962-5722, extension 200. That's my direct line, 914-962-5722, extension 200. You can email me directly, and I do my best to get back to everyone. I think I have, at mslater@yorktownny.org. Again, mslater@yorktownny.org. As a reminder, the New York State COVID-19 hotline is 888-364-3065. Again, 888-364-3065. I was reminded by one of our local nurses this evening, in addition to calling that hotline, also call your normal healthcare provider. It's important that you do both, not just one. And again, to get yourself lined up for a mobile test. And of course, as we stated earlier, if you do see any price gouging or nefarious activities by any retail store, the Division of Consumer Protection helpline is 1-800-697-1010. 1220. Again, that's 1-800-697-1220. As always, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we will be back tomorrow with any new, verified, and accurate information. Thanks so much, Yorktown. Take care.